Hello you guys, welcome to the channel. It's Rad, and tonight we're going to have a look at Mercury in Taurus, and Mercury is entering Taurus, at least according to my calendar here, at 8:15 a.m. and it will stay in Taurus up until the 25th. Yes, up until the 25th, where at 9 p.m. 8:59 at 9 p.m. Is going to enter an ingression in Gemini. So what we're going to have a look tonight is how Mercury doing that transit through Taurus is going to influence us. And the first thing that I'm usually doing that is going to be the collective reading. The cards for it, you can examine for yourself if you so will. Observing the thumbnail of the live stream, I'm going to show them to you in any case. Now, the first one that I drew, that is a 9 of Pentacles. Following up with the second card that I drew, that will be a 10 of Cups. And the final card, which I took from the pile, that will be the 8 of Swords. So we have these three cards. And long story short, Mercury in Taurus should lead us to a quite satisfying developments. The best way how I can put it in it is that these developments are going to happen to be bigger than anticipated. So what we can expect from this transit is to have to deal with, long story short, with much more important and serious stuff than we are planning, that are going to bring us better gains, that are going to bring us bigger rewards. But with the 8 of Swords being set next to the 9 of Pentacles, it also means that we will have to break some code of conducts, our code of conduct. You know, some people may have, for example, put a limit on not spending time with smokers. But it may so happen that you're going to have a very important meeting where person from the other side is smoking. So you have to break that rule of yours not to be around smokers if you want to manifest this this development. And these rules that you're going to have to break, we all of us are going to have to break, are going to be on many fronts. It doesn't have to be just only one place where that is taking place, where these developments are taking place. Because simultaneously for some of us, the development may simultaneously happen in career and in our love life. But in either case, will require to put away or to bring down, so to speak, a self-imposed limits in order to take advantage of it and generally put that development into motion and make it work. And doing so, that will happen on a collateral to put aside and resolve a lot of concerns and issues that we do have on a daily basis. So this isn't just only going to be an improvement, but also is going to be a solution for many of us. Hello, Yasmin. Welcome to the stream. So that was the collective reading, and now there are going to be 12 readings. I was about to say 2, but 12 readings just like this one for each star sign. Now bear in mind that these are going to be generalized readings, and if you do wish to have a personalized one, you can go to my website, which link you're going to find in the description down below, and there at the very front page you can see full list of my services and as well their pricing. Other than that, if you do enjoy the show and you do wish to support it, all that you have to do is subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Leave a like, comment on the video as well if you feel so. Either of these actions is going to help with the algorithm. And finally, if you do wish to support the show financially, you can do so using Super Chat or a PayPal, which PayPal link you're also going to find in the description down below. And anyone who does so, you guys are going to have a reading, personalized reading at the end of the stream, just like Yasmin did. Yasmin, thank you for the 20. Thank you, Yasmin. Let me put you into the list. Okay. There. Right. So starting up first, that will be with Aries. And you can keep up with what star I'm reading for through the glyph being displayed on my right hand side. Okay, so if you're watching it on a video, you can just skim ahead until you see your glyph. So starting up with Aries, first card for it is going to be the Four of Pentacles. Followed by the second card of the Three of Swords. And the third one, that will be the Hierophant. So this Mercury will influence you in such a way that you will be able to secure someone's trust and someone's reliability. But that Three of Swords, it's like freaking out. So you will secure their trust, you will secure their reliability, and together the journey will matter more than the destination. Okay, like what will matter is how you do your job rather than what you're gonna get from it at the end. And doing it so, benefits and gains are going to find you on their own accord. Okay, if for example you don't get paid accordingly for the job you did, but you did it well, you will be recognized by someone else who's going to be willing to pay. That was just for an example, but freaking out is going to be a state that can ruin everything for you. So whatever negative thoughts you do have for the enterprises you're going to face in these couple of weeks, for the endeavors that you are going to run through in these couple of weeks, keep them for yourself, and even try to overcome them by, you know, not thinking negatively. Like do it through meditation or through some kind of a other method that is aligned for a positive thinking. That is going to be very, very important for you going into these 2 weeks as far as Mercury is concerned. So going next, that will be Taurus. First one for Taurus is Seven of Swords, followed by the second one, which is the Tower. And hello, Amelia. Hello, Jennifer. And the third one, that will be Justice. Well, Mercury in Taurus, for you Taurus, will be an eye-opener. So what will happen here is that somewhere along these couple of weeks going forward, you will recognize that an enterprise you are involved in to your neck is not working for you. It's like, for example, you have been used or taken advantage of, and you are realizing it just now. But it is not too late, at least according to these cards. And so that will be the moment where you are going to make a very accountable choice, accountable towards yourself. Take what you have been owed and use it for something of your own. Or if I may put it frankly here, you will prevent being again taken advantage of, or straight away being robbed, either intellectually or through your efforts and so on. And these resources that you're going to take away, you will be able to put them into your own vision, agenda, and as well goal. So yeah, that will be an eye-opener for you going into Mercury in Taurus. Next one, that will be Gemini. Okay, for Gemini, the cards are a Five of Pentacles, first one. And the second one, it is the Fool. And the third one, that is Knight of Eight Pentacles. Hello, Jasmine. Welcome to the stream. Oh man, all right, Mercury in Taurus, quite complicated transit for you, at least according to these cards. Now, the first thing that you are going to come up to a conclusion, because it's more about conclusions for you, is that all that you did thus far, whether education, okay, whether some kind of traits that you have developed, whether some kind of, it doesn't come that much to a choices, more of a the way you live, all right, the style that you do live. And if you are thinking of, up until this point, am I not doing something wrong with the way I, for example, interact with my colleagues or with people I'm interested in, all right, or even with my family, what is going to come up to a conclusion that no, you haven't. And whatever approach you took to build up your life thus far, whether career life, whether your love life, it is correct, at least up until this point, is going to give you very solid merits, multiple merits. And those merits, they can be structured, is the best way how I can put it into words. And so what will happen, Gemini, after you come up to the conclusion that you haven't been wrong up until this point, and your behavior or the way you interact with stuff around you was the correct thing, then some kind of a step-by-step either plan or to-go list, I don't know how to put it into words here, but a one thing at the time type of structure is going to be developed by yourself, for yourself. And then a real progress is going to start going forward, whether a real progress in your love life or a real progress into your career. For the love life, as I'm touching that, it's more or less a very prominent period where you can talk it over with an ex that you haven't end up abruptly, or rather like you haven't end up entirely with them, and it's very possible that you can talk it over and get back together, but the initiation needs to come from you. Jasmine, thank you for the 20. Thank you. At the end of the stream, you're going to have your personalized you're going to have a personalized reading, how, if you don't have any other inquiry, of course, how this Mercury is going to affect you. Let me put you into the list. Okay. Right, next, that will be Cancer. Seven of Swords, again. Six of Cups. Four of Wands. So In this Mercury in Taurus, you Cancer are going to need your debts. Whether you lend money to someone, whether you have did a favor for someone, but either a favor or either money, you are going to need them for something of your own. And although it may pain you to ask for it at that point, because the side that it is indebted to you will be not in a best position to bring back that debt, I think looking at those cards that you are going to insist for it, because for you, being able to use these resources for your own good or for your own idea or for your own project, now, first of all, now is going to be the time, either now or never. And second, it will have, at least according to the cards here, by the look of them, it will have a explosive development for you. So it does look like that you're going to overcome that feeling of petty and even shame at some point, and ask for your debts. Which again is going to lead to a really explosive development to you, putting those money into your business or using that favor in order to get ahead, whatever the case. Next, that will be Leo. Justice, King of Wands, Ace of Swords. So it will come to your attention that a lot more is expected and demanded from you, whether at work or whether at home. And so what has come to your attention is that you will have to take care of much more things that you have initially anticipated. And so this Mercury in Taurus for you, Leo, is going to lead to a more responsibilities, but also is going to lead to real awareness. What can you gain from all that real awareness? How far, for example, how high can you get into the hierarchy of the company you're working at? How far you can get with the person you're in a relationship with, whether someone can want to be in a relationship with you or not. And all these conclusions are going to come from these expectations and demands that, if you choose, you will have to fulfill. Another thing that I can tell you here by the look of those cards is that you will have a pretty keen sense which of these demands and requirements and requests and so on are the word is not genuine, are reasonable, and which aren't. So it will come as well to your decision whether you're going to be accountable toward the unreasonable, or accountable only toward the reasonable ones. But ultimately, again, Leo, is going to be your choice whether you're going to take on these responsibilities or not. And all that's, how can I put it into words? You will, the future, if I may put it that way, the future of what is going to come after will be laid in front of you. So it will be important that you do trust your own deductions. Hello, Yadabi. Welcome to the stream. All right, next, Virgo. Nine of Wands, Death, Three of Pentacles. Mercury in Taurus will give you the chance to extend and to retain. Yadabi, thank you for the 20. Thank you. Let me put you into the list as well, alongside with your inquiry. Okay. So back to Virgo, a extend or retainer. What I mean is that it will either through the circumstances, you're going to simply realize that something doesn't have to end, whether your job, whether your relationship, whether your marriage, for example, or whether your business, and it doesn't have to end. It does require a bit of adjustment, and that adjustment will be all about some people involved that are not the main characters, but are people involved that they need to just be relinquished from all that. Like, for example, stop your mother messing around with your relationship, or a parent messing around with your relationship, or stop a friend messing around with your relationship. Relinquish them from it. That was just the most common examples. But a long story short, again, for you, Virgo, it is that you can retain something of a definitely of a value to you, and you don't have to part ways with it. You don't have to walk away from it. You don't have to relinquish it. Okay. Then it's Libra. Ten of Pentacles. The Emperor. The last one is gonna be the King of Cups. Let me think about it. Ten of Pentacles and King of Cups, it's easy. That is an old acquaintance that is gonna run in and make you some kind of an offer, like a boss you had may offer you a job, offer you your old job again, or a friend may offer you something, but it's an old acquaintance. That is definitely a person you already know, you're well aware of them, and you know each other very well. Oh, the Emperor and Ten of Pentacles, it's more of a relief. It's like becoming more and more, less and less attached and more independent from a controlling influence. It doesn't have to be a person, okay? For example, a loan may be controlling your finances, and so becoming more less and less attached to that loan, or a bank may be controlling your finances, or something like that. So an influence which is putting or exerting rather control over your life to a certain extent will loosen its grip, and so you will have more and more freedom and more independence, enough to make yourself quite comfortable and to feel quite comfortable in your own skin. And how your life is structured at that point. Next, Scorpio. The strength, 7 of swords, the hermit, well, Mercury in Taurus is going to make us look very, very selfish. And the reason for it is that 7 of swords with the strength that predisposes a person to disregard the sways of those around, to disregard what had been told. And that could play a major or a small role, okay? Because I am Scorpio as well, so I'm going to use the term we, because it could be said to us not to go for something, not to go for that client, or not to go for that project, or not to go for that person. And, you know, we completely disregard that. Why? It's a passion-driven thing. So Mercury in Taurus is going to ignite our passion and is going to ignite our enthusiasm to want a something. It doesn't have to be a person, it doesn't have to be a project, it could be just a goal, okay, in the grand scheme of things, to be happy, and therefore not to allow to anything or anyone to interfere with that happiness, causing us to disregard, for example, people we need, or for example, emotional need, and so on and so forth. So Mercury is gonna make us look very selfish in those who aren't close to us. But in the same time, those who are close to us, we will take under consideration their ideas and their strive. And I think by the look of those cards that we will implement it into ours. And so what will happen, it is that we will make a cumulative effort here to reach bigger heights. It is the best way how I can put it. But again, for us Scorpio, there will be an enthusiastic destination that is going to unravel. And I think that we're going to take on it. Okay, Sagittarius next. Six of Cups. That is Six of Cups. Nine of Wands. Six of Wands. Um, we have a say here in Bulgaria, but if I say it in English, it's gonna sound very stupid. That very well describes what is written by those cards. So I will have to figure out how to explain it. Mm. Okay. For you, Sagittarius, there is going to be a certain misalignment in those two things. When a person undertakes something, it has the experience and it has the result. And these two things are going to be very different. In, in the cases that you do have great experience, the result is going to be minimum. And in the things that you are going to have great results, the experience is going to be awful. And so I do believe that this is going to be the 2 weeks where you are going to recognize that it is, again, the journey before the destination. And I think that you are going to go for the experience rather than for the gains. I think that it will be more important how you make your money rather than how much money you make. Just for example. And that way you're going to make your life much more happier, fulfilled, and satisfying, I'm sorry, than it is right now. All right, next, Capricorn. King of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, the Lovers. So it does look like that you are going to be forced upon something. What I'm trying to say is that you will not going to be let to have a say or to have a choice. So probably you are about to deal with a more powerful person than you are, either at work or in your family situation. So they will have a demand, they will have a concept that you are going to happen that you have to oblige, and that is something you will not going to like at all. The fact that you are going to have to oblige to someone more powerful than you are. But on the plus side, that person or that organization is going to provide not just only the means to get the job done, okay, but also the payment afterwards. So that for example, maybe the client that you dislike profoundly with their behavior, with their attitude, okay, but they pay the bill and they will pay solidly. Or that may be the task that you dislike a lot, but that task is to get you a promotion. Yeah. So it does look like that the experience for you, the very least, is not going to be that great going into this Mercury in Taurus as far as Mercury is concerned, because there are many more transits, 12 more transits at that point. So this is just an influence of Mercury, okay? But Mercury is going to make someone that you depend from, and they depend from you as well. But at the end of the day, they are those who are paying the bills. That you are the person for the job, you are the person for the deed, for the task, and they will demand it of you. Because again, they are paying the bill and your bill as well. Okay, next. Or simply you love them and you can't say no. Next, that will be Aquarius. Three of Pentacles, Ten of Wands. Queen of Wands. Mercury in Taurus will bring a lot of support and understanding from the people around us. I'm saying us because I am Aquarius rising. So from the people around us. And their support will help us develop, will help us through our development. And additionally to it, it will make us realize stuff, because that support is not confined only into financial support, for example, or a moral support, but also verbal one. We may face a lot of criticism while we're doing one thing or while we're doing another thing, and so on and so forth. And taking under consideration that criticism is going to improve us a lot, is going to improve, how we perform our job, or it's going to improve how we do love, or it's going to improve, how we interact with our social circle. And through that support, additionally, there is going to be a relief from a certain responsibilities as well. But this support, it needs to be played around with. It's not going to fit very well, at least at the start. So it will require a bit of alignment and a bit of adjustment. So it will require some clever moves in order that support to be fully utilized. And last but not least, that would be Pisces. The moon, which represents Pisces, by the way, Temperance, and then it is Six of Cups. Mercury is gonna sway you, Pisces, in a very... The moon card generally represents that the future is unknown, but the future is the one that you are supposed to be at. And having the Temperance next to it, it means that you will be swayed into that future, where it's going to be quite drastic in terms of happiness. So you're going to end up being very satisfied and happy, and this is going to be the swaying force into this future, even if at that point your assessment may be that that is not appropriate. I don't want to say that is not right, because definitely it's going to be right, but you may think that it is not appropriate. And just to give you an example of it, someone around you may grieve and you go for being happy. You may think that it is inappropriate. That is just for an example here. But it will be important in this Mercury in Taurus to follow your satisfaction, meaning don't do stuff you don't like, and don't interact with people that you do not like as well. And that way you are going to be set on a path that you are meant to walk. And if you have a question whether you are on the right path or not, if you aren't, you are about to be. Okay, so that was for the 12th. And now going into the super chat. First one. No, that will be, hold on a second, that will be Yasmin. And let's have a look how this Mercury is going to affect you, Yasmin. All right, those are your cards. Let me get that Pisces glyph out. All right, Yasmin, so those are your cards. And Mercury in Taurus is not going to affect you in a profound way, but what will happen, at least according to them, is that someone in can I put it? Well, I'm going to say it that way. Someone in your social circle, so that is amongst the people that you are communicating with, that you're socializing with, that you're talking with, is going to start making troubles, not just only to you, but to everyone else. And Mercury in Taurus is going to be more or less a test for you, how much you can endure such a behavior and whether you can maintain your composure or not. Because at some point into your future, maybe not in these couple of weeks from 10th to 25th, but later on, you're going to need that person, right? You're going to need, for example, either their expertise, or you're going to need their connection. And so in these couple of weeks, it's going to be really tough for you to not to get in a conflict with them, but it is advisable, at least according to the cards, to distance yourself from them, at least for now, so you don't get involved into their warmongering behavior and in generally a knack of making trouble for those that are around them. Although it's going to be pretty tough to be able to for you, I mean, to be able to accomplish that in these couple of weeks. Other than that, Yasmin, Mercury in Taurus will make you realize what can be accomplished on a personal note, but also that cannot be accomplished by yourself as well. And it will be a period where probably you're going to start looking around for people that you can make a partnership with, that you can side with, okay, and that can be useful to you. That is how Mercury in Taurus is going to affect you. Okay. Next, Jasmine. You're welcome, Yasmin. I don't know what that means, Jasmine, but literally Mercury in Taurus will manifest through grief, not your grief, though, okay? A grief is gonna bring more work to you. Those are your tarot cards. The work will be for a very long time, so that is a continuous job, a continuous work. And you will happen to be the most fitted for the job, at least at that point. So this is the specific thing which Mercury in Taurus is going to provoke as an event for you. Now, other than that, on a personal note, this Mercury in Taurus is going to be the transit in which you will figure out a strategy, a way how to very effectively resolve issues from the past, and in a way that they are no longer an influence going into the future. Because the future, at least according to these cards for you, Jasmine, it will be again with a pretty specific target, with a pretty specific goal, and you cannot have stuff from your past dragging you down. But the more specific thing, again, it is that job that opens up for you through through grief. And I don't think it's your grief. Okay, and last but not least, that will be Yadabi. So you're having a meeting on Tuesday. You wonder how it's going to go. And let's have a look. Those are the cards. Actually, the Five of Swords with the Eight of Swords plays a pretty protective role. So it will go quite restrictive in a sense that neither of you who are on this meeting is going to cross any lines and is going to cross any boundaries, at least at that point. And that's why the meeting is gonna feel rather quite uncomfortable for either of you. Is gonna or for all of you, if you are more people involved in that meeting, is gonna feel like you don't have much to say to each other. Okay, that you don't have for example, much of a common ground, much of a common interest, and so on and so forth, which doesn't necessarily have to be true. And the reason, like I said, for it is that because you will not gonna open up right away, because both of you or all of you will not gonna have your trust being betrayed, at least at that stage. And it will take some time until these barriers that you all are gonna have toward one another are gonna start cracking down and being taken off. But the meeting itself, you're welcome, Jasmine. The meeting itself, Yarabi, it will feel a bit uncomfortable and awkward, but again, this isn't gonna be your fault or anyone else's fault. It is because if this is about whatever partnership this is about, it needs to be taken slowly, very, very slowly, and it needs to gradually becomes more and more opaque, if you know what I mean. Rather than take it fast and then realize that there are stuff you don't like and so on and so forth. I don't think that it is about the language. It's more of a again, not well, it could also play a role, but it's more or less not building up an expectations and state that it isn't true, like to give you an expectation or to give you an impression that things are gonna go fast and they actually doesn't, or to give you, so yeah, to build up the right impression. So that's why it will require more than just only one meeting to get to where you want to be, if you want to be somewhere with that person or with these people. But the meeting is going to go a bit awkward and a bit uncomfortable, which doesn't mean a bad thing. Again, I want to stress that one out. It's more of a protective mechanism, and it's more of a precautionary measure than anything else. So with that said, guys, that was the readings for tonight. Now, thank you so much for watching, and as well, thank you so much for your generosity, and hopefully we're going to see each other next Thursday, when the stream is going to be about I believe it's going to be about the the full moon in Scorpio. Yeah, it's going to be about the new moon in Scorpio, the full moon in Scorpio, I'm sorry. So yeah, again, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye.